Mike Evans gets into a scrap. Amon-Ra St. Brown has a massive and real breakout. Garrett Wilson's on the map. Breece Hall is on the map. Tyreek Hill tears it up. Tua, is he the real deal? He looks like it. Week 2 full recap right here along with news and notes here. It was a crazy week. I'm breaking down the studs and sucks at each position, honoring the stud and suck at each position for NFL Fantasy Week 2. Big episode here, lots to discuss, and now the foundation is laid out for most of the season. We got a feel for the offenses, the distribution, the snap counts, so tons of information. We're going to talk about it all here, everything we learned for NFL Week 2 going into Week 3. Now, we've still got 2 more games coming up here on Monday Night Football, but we're going to recap everything we saw over the weekend, including Thursday's game with the Warrior Justin Herbert fighting through for us. Week 2 recap right here, guys. We're diving in. Subscribe, thumbs up, buckle up, grab a tea, grab a coffee. If you're driving, grab your steering wheel. I hope you're grabbing your steering wheel. We're diving in here. Week 2 full recap, studs and sucks. Let's dive into it now. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Week 2, right here, full recap, studs and sucks, news and notes on what happened on the weekend, guys. Tons of information here for you. An entertaining, exciting episode. Tons to talk about. Now, we got 2 more games tonight. We got Tennessee and Buffalo. Buffalo's a 10-point favorite there at home. Hopefully, Derrick Henry runs wild. I need him in one league. And we got the Vikings and Philly. So lots of fantasy relevance here in the games tonight still between Josh Allen, Singletary if you've got him, Dalvin Cook, Jefferson, A.J. Brown. We got Derrick Henry. We got so much fantasy relevance still going tonight, but we're talking studs and sucks here based on Sunday's game. There's a lot to recap. I couldn't wait to do it Tuesday morning. I had to do it now. So much to talk about, including news and notes. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys click subscribe. We go year round. We talk NFL news, notes, and winning fantasy football advice. So click that subscribe button. And the show is brought to you by, if you've not got it yet, go do it right now. Manscaped.com, Shower Line 20. Go treat yourself to some amazing products, guys, right now. Try the underwear, the Boxers 2.0. Try the body wash. Try the deodorant. Their body wash is paraben-free, cruelty-free, all that fun stuff. It's super good for your skin. It smells fresh. Go right now, guys. Manscaped.com, Shower Line 20. Try the body wash. And if you're not grooming with the Lawnmower 4.0, I don't know what to tell you. Skin-safe technology, amazing product, guys. Manscaped.com, Shower Line 20. Save yourself 20%. Go treat yourself. Pause the video. Go do that. Or while you're listening, head on over to Manscaped right now and browse their products. Amazing products. Go try them. Shower Line 20 will save you 20%. All right? Subscribe, thumbs up. Let's dive into it. And also, give me the stud and suck. I want you guys to comment below. Want to make this interactive. Who was your suck of the week? I've got one name, swirling in my head, Mooney. One name in my head that keeps swirling, Darnell Mooney. It's all in my head. I can't get it out, Darnell Mooney. And I'm going to tell you who my suck of the week is on my teams. I think I've already kind of hinted at it. So in the comments below, Darnell Mooney, comment below who your suck of the week is. And we're going to rip into them, guys. It was absolutely brutal week for some players, but other guys crushed it for me. Drake London and, Justin Herbert, other guys. All right. So we're going to go through every position, studs and sucks. Before I do, I want to go over the news and notes here. Just a couple quick highlights. I want to talk about some quick notes that the highlights, the thing that's jumped out, and also the news, all right? Mike Evans, you guys saw that. There was a scrap. He's facing a suspension. He was ejected from the Week 2 game after an altercation with the Saints cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. Evans was suspended 1 game for an altercation with Lattimore back in 2017. So Mike Evans may be missing a game or 2. We saw that Lattimore, I think he was arguing with Brady or whatever. Evans had to swoop in and become the hero. Pushes Lattimore. Lattimore goes flying unexpectedly. And I kind of hate that. I think that's more of a sucker shot, but it is what it is. He went flying, and it is what it is. They pushed him back and forth, and Mike Evans is facing a suspension. So, all part of the game, right? Dalton Schultz, if you're Dalton Schultz owner, his knee was bothering him. He had a knee injury, caught 2 passes for 18 yards against the Bengals, and then he was injured late in the game. He was unable to play for the rest of the final drive, and he'll undergo tests today. So Dalton Schultz, be aware, with him this week, all right? Other notes you want to be aware of here, quick highlights as well. Dameon Pierce actually rushed 15 times for 69 yards, caught one pass for 8 yards, okay? In their loss to Denver, they lost 16-9 in the week 2 battle there. Dameon Pierce finally starting to get going, something to be aware of, something to be to notice there, because again, the big conversation in the week 1 was Rex Burkhead being the RB1, not the case, okay? We're going to talk about that a little bit more later. Drake London, a guy I was really high on, showed up, right? He caught, 8 of his 12 targets for 86 yards and a touchdown. They did lose to the Rams in a close one. They were coming back. Just couldn't get it done. Drake London showing up. Tyler Algier made his debut. Finished with 10 carries for 30 yards. Something to be aware of as a sleeper there when we're talking waiver wire week 3. Maybe a pickup there if you're desperate. Trey Lance also. Trey Lance is done for the season, most likely here. Ankle, suffered a broken right ankle. And looks like it's season ending by the time of this recording. Now, I'm recording this very early Monday morning. So Trey Lance, it's pretty obvious if you saw his ankle. Doesn't look good. And this is why, again, you can't predict injury, but I try to anchor my team with ace quarterbacks, guys that have a little more veteran. And what I was seeing in a lot of leagues, especially the Conchivas, they were drafting Trey Lance as their QB1. There was no guarantee this guy was going to be good to start with. And now, is he injury prone? Maybe, or maybe it was just a fluke injury. But either way, doesn't look good here if you're a Trey Lance owner, okay? Hopefully you have a good backup there, okay? Other injury here that kind of affected my team, it actually did affect one of my teams. I've got him, is Jerry Jeudy. Suffered a shoulder injury week 2. Not sure if he's coming back, how serious that is. This was something that I had in my gut. I was like, I'm all in on Jeudy. I think he's good. And he was doing okay week 1, but he has not finished the season, has been injured. Years to wow me, I'm not wowed. Yet I went against all my own advice there and ended up drafting him in a league. Jerry Jeudy hopefully comes back and tears it up, but Broncos as a whole looking pretty rough here. A couple other notes here. Amon-Ra St. Brown absolutely crushed it. Highlight there. Christian Kirk, another guy that I have, crushed it. And Tyreek Hill, I could be wrong about him. 190 yards receiving. He was out cramping. Next thing you know, he has 2 touchdowns. Absolutely crazy. 42 points, tore it up. Here's an interesting statistic here. Waddle, Tyreek, and Tua combined for over 120 points combined. About 120 points combined PPR. Tua, Waddle, and Tyreek. Phenomenal. They had the game of their life. I don't see that happening every week. It is what it is. I have no share in any of these guys, but whoever does really benefited there as well, all right? So those are some real highlights. Oh, Breece Hall, 7.1 yards per carry, got himself a receiving touchdown, 13 points. He's on the map. He looks startable moving forward, all right? So I had to get some of the news and notes here, some of the highlights out, so you guys are up to date there on some very, very important notes. Now we're going to dive into some studs and sucks at each position. We're going to go through each position, but I had to go over some points, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how players did at each position. Let's start off here with the quarterback position, the sacred quarterback position. And again, as of Sunday's game, maybe Josh Allen changes the tone here, but Lamar Jackson is number 1 here amongst quarterbacks. Now, he rushed for 119 yards, okay? It's not going to happen every week. I know Lamar had a good week. I get it. But when you put that in perspective in regards to rushing yards, 119, that would put him second amongst running backs for week 2. Okay, David Montgomery had 122, Christian McCaffrey 102, Nick Chubb, as good of a game he only had 87. So for all you guys thinking Lamar's going to repeat this game every single week, no, he broke up for a huge run. Okay, unbelievable, 119 yards, 9 attempts, 1 touchdown. Again, I love Lamar. I hope he doesn't get hurt, but when you have a quarterback that runs this much, I get concerned, all right? 42 points. Lamar Jackson leads the pack. He is definitely by far the stud of the week at the quarterback position, without a doubt, okay? Tua had himself a good game, 469 yards, passing, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Again, a massive week. Defenses have to play farther back to cover Tyreek Hill over the top. He's coming up over the top, speeding past everybody. There's no safety. There's nobody in the back to protect them. I'm telling you, Baltimore's defense looked terrible yesterday. So is it that Tua was good, or was Baltimore absolutely that terrible? You got to wake up. If Tyreek Hill blows by you once, you don't let it happen again. That's what I hate when defenses do that. Either way, Tua crushed it. It is what it is. Carson Wentz looking like the real deal for fantasy. Can you believe this? Carson Wentz 2 consecutively good weeks. Threw for 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Carson Wentz, believe it or not, did well. Joe Flacco did well. Wow, I never thought I'd say that. Joe Flacco still in the NFL, believe it or not. did well. Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, Matt Stafford, and Trevor Lawrence all doing well this week. Unbelievable, right? I mean, I wouldn't say amazing points, but Trevor Lawrence, 19.5. Those are your top 10. Even Mahomes finished 11th, 17.3. Aaron Rodgers came back, 16.36. Started to come back, but they're running the ball way too much, okay? Now, the suck of the week. Now, I got to say he's a backup. I have him as a backup in 2 of my leagues. I have 4 major money leagues. Matt Ryan is a backup in 1 of them. 2 of them. So he crapped the bed, all right? Absolutely. 1.8 fantasy points. 1.8 actually got him started. He started. It's in a 2-quarterback league. I may bench him next week. This was absolutely ridiculous. You're falling apart. At least build some confidence in the last drive. You're down, 24-0 or whatever. You've got the ball. You've got a pick. You threw a pick. You get the ball back. At least get a touchdown near the end of the game, right? At least get one. No, you throw a third pick. I mean, he looked like absolute garbage, absolute trash. Like I could have went in and done better than Matt Ryan. I need some water here. Sorry, I need a shot of water. I'm too angry here. Matt Ryan absolutely crapped the bed, okay? So as a backup, it's okay. He's not my main starter, except for this one league. It's a 2-quarterback league where I went robust RB and ended up with Matt Ryan. He better step it up. Now, in his defense, which I don't want to defend him in any way, he didn't have any wide receivers. You know, Alec Pierce wasn't there. Michael Pittman weren't there. He had no receivers, but no excuse, Matt Ryan. But again, when you're looking at a starting quarterback, because he's not really a starting quarterback. A starting quarterback that crapped the bed is Jameis Winston. The guy was dealing with injury going in. 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown. Jameis Winston is the suck of the week. Played like absolute trash. 7.64 fantasy points for Jameis Winston. Crapped the bed. I don't know if you guys started Justin Fields. He had a crappy game. And that's a whole other thing I want to talk about. Justin Fields does not throw the ball. He had 11 passing attempts. 11 passing attempps. But 11 passing attempts, 70 yards, 1 interception. Justin Fields, not only did he threw such a minimal amount of times, he still had to pack in an interception in there. That's insane. He doesn't even know who Darnell Mooney is, his number 1 wide receiver. Absolutely terrible. Terrible quarterback. Him and Winston crapped the bed. Honorable mention here is Matt Ryan, but what a suck of the week. Jameis Winston, terrible, terrible, terrible. Moving on to the running backs, the suck of the week. Let's go with the stud of the week. This is not sustainable either. Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones absolutely tear it up. And here's the problem. Last week it was the Hunt and Dylan show. Now it was the Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones show. So this is a problem. This is why I faded these guys. Now you're saying, well, Joe, you faded Nick Chubb. He had a great week. Yeah, but is that going to continue? Hunt was the guy last week. Kareem Hunt, right? Aaron Jones, Dylan was the guy last week, right? Is Aaron Jones going to continue to be the one? We don't know. But he had an anomaly game, and Chicago's defense sucked. I mean, it was very hard to watch a defense. Like, I like it when a team like completely dominates another team, but I hate it when you're in a repeatable pattern. It was like Jones, Dylan, Cobb, Jones, Dylan, Watkins, Jones, Dylan, Lazard touchdown. Like, it was like such a repeatable pattern, and I just don't get why Chicago's defense wasn't keying in on the run game or is trying to do anything to stop it. It was a bad game, but I don't see this sustainable. But the start of the week, I never thought I'd say this, is Nick Chubb, though. 32.3 points. The guy had 3 rushing touchdowns. Not so many, no receiving touchdowns, but the 3 rushing touchdowns, 87 yards on the ground. Nick Chubb crushed it. Is it sustainable? No. Kareem Hunt is there, but he had himself a good week. Tony Pollard broke out for a big run, got himself a touchdown as well. Now, this is definitely, if we're talking highlights here, this is definitely the collapsing of Zeke Elliott. I mean, this is a guy that I thought would have had a resurgence of his career. But that being said, week 2, Zeke had 15 rushing attempts compared to the 9 that Tony Pollard had. He just averaged 3.5 yards per carry per that. Now, he also had less receptions and -4 receiving yards for Zeke Elliott. 5.9 points compared to 19.8 for Tony Pollard. So this is something that you got to be aware of. This is something that we've been seeing a trend of for 3 years. We've been seeing the collapse of Zeke Elliott and the emergence of Tony Pollard. Now, is this going to continue moving forward? That's a big question mark. That's something that has yet to be seen. As of right now, it looks like it's a Tony Pollard show. If you drafted Zeke in the third, I would probably wait for a big game if you want to consider trading him. Do not trade early. That's the worst thing you can do, is trade on a down week. You don't want to do that, all right? So Tony Pollard had himself a good week. Austin Eckler, Christian McCaffrey, Damian Harris, DeAndre Swift, a guy I wasn't high on, James Robinson, a guy I was high on. All those people that drafted ATN, you're probably crying right now because you went 0 RB. I mean, you're probably doing well with your wide receivers going in the first 2 weeks, but you have no running back because Robinson is the one. I was telling you that the entire offseason. Allaire and David Montgomery to round out the top 10 here in fantasy points. Now, Montgomery ran hard, 122 yards, 8.1 yards per carry. All that running did not include a touchdown, but he had 15.6 points. He was carrying the team on his back, looked strong, looked aggressive. All the Najee Harris owners, he looked crappy, but he did manage to put up 14 points in PPR. Not bad, but again, back to the 3.3 yards per carry. Had a couple aggressive runs, tried to leap over a guy. Again, Najee Harris not really looking good. Breece Hall finally had a mini breakout, had his, 7 attempts, 50 yards, 7.1 yards per carry, and a receiving touchdown. Breece Hall finally on the map, putting up 13 points. So the start of the week, again, has to go to Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones. Now, the suck of the week. Now, I haven't decided on this completely, but I would say Zeke Elliott at 5.9 points is a consideration there. Cam Akers had a mediocre week, better than last week, 8.2 points, but isn't he enough to be the suck of the week? That's what I'm trying to determine here. Again, in the comments, make it interactive. Let me know who your suck of the week is. Am I missing somebody? But as of right now, taking a quick glance at this, and Rex Burkhead, 2.9 points. We weren't expecting anything out of him. Kenneth Walker also had his debut, didn't do too well, 3.5 points. He only had 4 attempts for 10 yards. That's something to watch. But again, Seattle played like garbage. Don't even get me started with Seattle. Absolute garbage. So Chase Edmonds, 5.1 points. This is a guy that people are drafting as an RB1. I got to talk about this. Everyone said go 0 RB, draft Chase Edmonds, 5.1 points. Okay? Crap the bed. Absolutely crap the bed. So I would probably, and James Conner got banged up. I told you James Conner cannot be trusted, 7.1 points. He got hurt. Let me just see if there's a report here on James Conner. His ankle was bothering him. What, did he come back? Benjamin came in. I see again, James Conner starting to go back to kind of his old ways, getting hurt. That may continue to be a problem there with James Conner. So be cautious there with him. So I would have to go here. Again, I don't have him on my teams, but Chase Edmonds, 5.1 points. I had what do you have? 5 attempts, 33 yards. This is a guy that people have as their RB1. Yeah, I would go Chase Edmonds as the suck of the week here. Again, am I missing somebody? Let me know below. But Chase Edmonds and Zeke absolutely crap the bed at running back. Drop a comment below on who you guys think the suck of the week is at wide receiver, at running back. Moving on to wide receiver here. Suck of the week. I got to go here. Do you want to start off with the sucker? Yeah, we can go suck of the week. Let's start off with that. I'm just going to go out and say it here. Darnell Mooney. I don't even know. Did he put up like negative points? I think he put up negative points here. I'm so far down on my list. I'm looking at a stat sheet, and I think he put up negative points. Darnell Mooney. I think he had like 1 catch. It was like negative yards. I can't even find. Oh, right here. Here he is. 0.6 points PPR, -4 receiving yards. What do you have? 1 reception. 1 reception, guys. 2 targets. This is your wide receiver 1. 2 targets, 1 reception, 0.6 points, guys. Oh, man. -4 receiving yards. That's why he's got 0.6 points, because if you're in PPR, he got the 1 point, then he lost the 4 yards, so he's 0.6 points. Darnell Mooney. He's a good talent, or it was based on last year, saying he's going to step up this year. How are you going to step up? It's just, that's rough, man. Absolutely rough. He is easily the suck of the week. Honorable mention here. I mean, Judy got hurt, 2.2 points. Let's keep going here. Other guys that should have done well. Juju, 4 points. Juju, 4 points. What do you have? 3 targets, 3 receptions. Juju, this is a guy people drafted as a wide receiver 1, thinking he's going to be the wide receiver 1. I told you to fade the Chiefs wide receiver situation there. That's absolutely brutal. Other guys that crapped the bed. I mean, this is ugly. Devontae Adams, 9.2 points. Adams' touchdown saved him. If not, would have been a rough week. And I kind of was warning you, had a good week. Adams crapped the bed this week. Alan Lazard, 9.3 points. Touchdown saved him as well. Supposed to be the wide receiver one. Didn't look too good there. 9.8 points. So Adams, touchdown saved him. If not, he would have looked really rough. Probably had like a 3-pointer in there. So tons of sucks of the week here, guys. But I would say Mooney and Devontae Adams. I got to rip into Adams, guys. I wasn't high on him. We'll see. He's one for one right now, right? One good week, one bad week, right? So we'll see how he does. Stud of the week has to go here to, I'm going to say Amon-Ra St. Brown, a guy that I was high on, 5th round value, crushed it. 39.4 points. Looked amazing. Had the 2 touchdowns, 116 yards. Amazing. 12 targets, 9 receptions. This is a guy that was amazing value, and he was the underdog. That's why I like him here at 39.4 points. Crushed it. He is the stud of the week. He gets that award. Now, again, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, 2 wide receivers, same team. Very unlikely this is not repeatable. Just not. Cooper Kupp had himself a good game yet again. Defenses have to start keying in on this guy. Will that continue? Christian Kirk, Garrett Wilson finishing in the top 10. Mike Williams having himself a game. Amari Cooper, Drake London, top 10. Also a stud of the week, 24.6 points. And Nelson Aguilar on New England, 23 points, finishing in the top 10. Again, this is excluding the Monday games, all right? So, Amon-Ra St. Brown, very, very proud of you. Let's move on to the tight ends here to wrap this up here. Mark Andrews, to be expected. I mean, they don't have any other good wide receivers. Mark Andrews, good week. Darren Waller had himself a good week. And I want you to notice a pattern here. Waller, 17 points, had himself a good week, right? Adams didn't. Not as good of a week when Waller stepped it up. Something to be aware of. You got to give and take a little bit, right? Zach Ertz, Mike Gesicki, he was just dropped in the league. I ended up picking him up, finishing 4th here with 14.1 points as of the Sunday games. Tyler Higbee had himself a safe game. Gerald Everett, Logan Thomas, Pat Freiermuth, Evan Ingram, and Ross. Ross Dwelly, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, from San Fran. But what have you noticed here, guys, with tight ends? You can wait on tight end, right? You're going to get value. Everett, Higbee, Gesicki, right? I told you, wait on tight end. Logan Thomas, Pat Freiermuth, whatever you want to call him. I don't care. You can wait. Even Kelsey, guy who invested high draft capital, finished 11th, 10.1 points. Gerald Everett had 13.1. Everett beat Kelsey this week, right? So I'm telling you guys, you can wait on tight end. So those are the studs of the week at the tight end position. In regards to the sucks, I'm not expecting anything big out of tight ends. But if you were to say suck, Hawkinson, 5.6 points. Absolutely. This is a guy that was drafted with high draft capital, right? That's terrible. Let's just see if there's anyone else that's people picked up Taysom Hill expecting him to be a tight end because he had a couple rushing touchdowns last week, 1.4 points. So again, Taysom Hill, not a guy I trust to be a viable tight end. Could have some boom games, but again, I don't think that's sustainable. So you got to be careful. Again, so many people got excited about him. Dalton Schultz, he got banged up, 1.8 points. So I'm going to say Dalton Schultz here. He was a 5th round type kind of guy, but still a guy that kind of crapped the bed. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else that jumps out. Not really. So let me know, guys, tight end, anyone that kind of crapped the bed for you guys. Hunter Henry had a bad game. So again, I'm not expecting anything. Hunter Henry had 0 points. Kyle Pitts, 3.9 points. Another guy absolutely crapping the bed. So I got to give the suck of the week to Kyle Pitts, 3.9 points. Hawkinson, 5.6. Disgusting for guys that were drafted in and around round 3 to 4. All right, guys. So we learned a lot. A lot happened. We figured a lot out, right? We figured out who's who and who's going to get the volume and anomalies like the Tyreek Hill Waddle situation. Some things are just not sustainable. We saw the back and forth with Aaron Jones and Dylan, 1 week on, 1 week off. Not good, right? We want that consistency. We saw a mini breakout from Breece Hall, right? I think he's going to continue. We saw Dameon Pierce get integrated. We saw a lot of things unfold here in week 2, but there's still some question marks. So when we're looking at starts and sits going into the week, which are going to again do that episode here this week, again, make sure you guys subscribed. You got to take a look at kind of what happened, look at the trends, look at the snap counts. I'm going to lay that out to you guys this week. Because starting and sitting the right person is crucial to your success. All right, guys, let me know how you did. who is a stud and suck at each position. Drop a comment below. Who really screwed it for you? Who really did well on your team? Drop a comment below. Love to get your feedback. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Leave a 5-star review. Really helps the channel. If you're on Spotify or iTunes, leave a 5-star rating review. Okay? Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Subscribe and join the Patreon, by the way. Patreon.com/FF Counselor. Join the front lines. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I'm out. We'll talk soon.